Hi, welcome back to the Box of Delights game channel. Now we can start playing the game, so let's quickly learn how to play. So on your turn, you can, and here's the order of play, you can take up to 3 actions, then you draw 2 treasure deck cards, and then you draw flood cards equal to the water level. So remember, we take 3 actions, we draw 2 treasure cards, and then we draw flood cards equal to the water level. So in the moment we've got a water level of novice, we're down here, and these numbers here tell you how many flood cards to draw, and that means those tiles will get flooded. So at the moment we draw 2. So we get 3 actions per turn, up to 3 actions, so we could choose to take no actions, 1 action, 2 actions or 3 actions. And the types of actions we can take are we can move, we can shore up, we can give a treasure card or capture a treasure. Well, let's just cover those 3 types of actions quickly so we understand what it is we're trying to do. So to move, we can move 1 island tile up, down, left or right. So that's 1 action, 1 movement action. We can't move diagonally. So that's movement, 1 adjacent tile in any direction. The second type of action is we can shore up. For 1 action, so one of our 3 possible actions, we can flip over a flooded tile from its blue and white side back to its face up side. So the unflooded side is now facing upwards. So this is any 1 adjacent tile. The third type of action is to give a treasure card. So these are the cards in the navigator's hand, and for 1 action you can give a treasure card to another player if both your pawns are on the same island tile. So here the yellow player could give one of the cards from his hand to the red player. Finally, the other type of action you can take is you can capture a treasure. So to do this you must be on an island tile where you can legally capture a treasure. So here I'm on the chalice, at the Coral Palace, where you can capture a chalice. And to do this, you have to discard 4 matching treasure cards from your hand. So here we've only got 1 card. Now remember, each turn we're going to be drawing 2 treasures. So the idea here is that we can collect these treasure cards, and once we have 4, we can make our way over to one of the 2 chalice tiles here, and then we can capture this treasure. The player who last visited an island goes first, and play continues to the left. So, I don't know if you're playing with your mates, and the last person to visit an island, this is just, they could have said the youngest player goes first, or the person with the most hair goes first, but they've said the last person to visit an island. So if you went to Corfu for your summer holidays, you get to go first. I'm playing solo, so it doesn't really matter who goes first, so we'll just go with the navigator first. Let's think about what we're going to do on the navigator's first turn. So this is the yellow player who's going to start the game. Remember, we've got to try and collect these treasures. We've got to keep this island from sinking if we can. We need to get to this Fool's Landing, and we've got to collect these cards. And we've got 3 actions each turn. The navigator has this special ability, move another player up to 2 adjacent tiles for 1 action. And our hand's a little bit limited at the beginning. We do have these sandbags which says shore up any 1 tile on the island, and I can play this at any time and it doesn't take an action. I'm going to hold on to this for a second, I think. So let's think about perhaps shoring up some of these tiles that are around me. So for my first action, I'm going to shore up Temple of the Sun. And my second action, I'm going to shore up Bronze Gate. And I've got 1 more action. Now remember, the navigator has this special, move another player up to 2 adjacent tiles for 1 action. So using that special ability, I'm going to choose to move the messenger 2 adjacent tiles over here onto the Misty Marsh. You can walk on flooded tiles, that's absolutely fine. The flooded tiles behave just like any other tile. The only difference is they're flooded and they're one step away from sinking. So that's it, it's a pretty quick turn. We've taken our 3 actions. Next thing to do is draw our 2 treasure cards. We get Ocean's Chalice and the Crystal of Fire. Place those in our hand. We have a hand limit of 5 cards. I've got 4 right now. So if we ever find ourselves with 6 or more cards, we must immediately, it says, discard down to 5. And it says immediately, and you draw these one at a time. So we'll look at that if and when we come to it. The next step is to draw flood cards, and we have to draw 2 cards because that's the level of the water. So our first one is Watchtower. It's over here at the top right. And the second one is the Cave of Shadows, which is over here. And that ends the navigator's turn, the yellow player's turn. So for our messenger, I think I'm going to try and shore up around here. Remember, he has a special that says, give treasure cards to a player anywhere on the island for 1 action per card. So this is going to be useful for collecting those 4 cards. So if I have cards that the navigator needs, I don't have to be on the same tile. I can just give them to the navigator anywhere, no matter where he is. So for my 3 actions, I'm going to shore up the Cave of Embers. Action 1. My second action, I'm going to shore up Misty Marsh. And for my third action, I'm going to shore up Cliffs of Abandon. So that's 3 actions. Now I get to draw 2 treasures. Statue of the Wind. And a Water's Rise. Okay, let's see what happens now. The rules tell us there's 3 Water's Rise cards in the treasure deck. And when we draw one, we've got to go through a sequence of things. The first thing we do is we raise the water level. And that means we move this water level meter up 1 tick. So this level here, from here to here. So we're still on only 2, but we're slightly closer to getting to 3. The next thing we do is we take all the cards from the flood discard pile, which is all these island tile cards, and we're going to shuffle them and we're going to place them back on top of the flood deck. Now this is the thing, this reminds me of Pandemic. We're intensifying the flooding on tiles that we've already flooded. So what this means is that our previously drawn tiles are going to come out again, and this is why shoring up the islands are important then, because these 3 that we've left flooded, they could come out again at any time, and that could spell danger. The last thing we do is we discard this Water's Rise card into the treasure discard pile. On the Water's Rise, you don't have to refer back to the rule book. It actually tells you. Step 1, move the water level up 1 tick. 2, shuffle the flood discard pile, put it back on top of the flood draw pile. And 3, discard this card to the treasure discard pile. Okay, so really well designed components here.